Happy New Year and hello everybody, especially the Duelyst players and the ones who want to know what the hype is all about. It's me Boronian, and today I'm retelling you the story of 2020 regarding Duelyst, because for us Duely players it was a bad year. But 2021 seems to be a better year, very promising at least, and I will tell you the reason in the end, but I'm sure you can already guess why. It's a title after all. But let's start from the beginning, shall we? As soon as the game's shutdown was announced in January, a lot of people started to get behind the idea of remaking Duelyst in one or the other way. So for this I talked to a lot of people involved. I read all Discord chats and Reddit posts to gain a look into how the different projects evolved and the stories behind them. Norinator created a print and play version of Duelyst, a beautiful solution to play the game offline with someone. But not the most practical solution for most people, of course. More people came to rebuild Duelyst or to create the Duelyst similar game in a digital way. One of the first projects and the one with the most promise was Project Cardboard. It was an open source project using a Java student project as a base. Servers were provided by Mesa. The Java project was very buggy and not designed with scalability in mind. So after a couple of months, Mesa decided it would be easier and faster to start from scratch and broke off from the project. Meanwhile, Drakkar was working on a second project in the story, Project D. Rather than recreating the game logic or implementing any kind of multiplayer, he focused on aesthetics, recreating the look and feel of Duelyst and allowing the player to play in a sandbox against himself with golems. In late spring, it had become obvious that Mesa's approach was the correct one. He has already surpassed Project Cardboard in just a couple of months of work with a far smaller team, himself, Jim, 9137 and Cybern. By this point, Cybern was involved with both projects and decided to switch the official Revival Project to Mesa's. The remaining Project Cardboard team stopped development on the old project. At this junction, the Project Cardboard team broke up. Some were willing to follow the switch to Mesa's project, but others quit the team because while Project Cardboard was open source, the new project was closed source, what Mesa wanted, and caused a split. Not everybody was willing to work on a closed software. Why was that? Open source software, OSS, refers to software which uses the code freely available on the internet. The code is free of charge and can be copied, modified or deleted by other users and organizations. OSS would guarantee that Duelyst would always be out there in some form if it gets abandoned again by the new devs. Someone else could pick it up and run servers, keep making cards, improve the client or mod the game. Closed source software, CSS, is opposite to OSS and means software which uses proprietary and closely guarded code. Only the original authors of the software can access, copy and alter the software. The source code is not shared with the public for anyone to look at or change. While that could cause the game to end in another abandoned state, it also means no one can just take the game's code and do whatever they want with it without legal repercussions. That was especially important to gain counterplay game support for the Duelyst Revival Project and legitimacy to avoid a possible legal shutdown. There were several attempts to recruit Drakkar and his front-end talents to Project Cardboard before, but he always declined and wanted to work on his own. But shortly after the official project changed to Mesa's, he was finally convinced, so the team set to work in coupling his front-end Unity client with Mesa's Python backend. Development went quickly and soon after that they brought on Good Guy Hopper, who helped set up meetings with CPG, who approved of the project and offered support. Unfortunately, by September, Mesa had burnt himself out after putting in crazy amounts of work for 6 months. Luckily for the project, he left his codebase behind when he quit, so another dead-end development was averted. But as he had been single-handedly doing most of the work, things were looking dire for the Revival project. So Cybern reached out to the community for any developers who would be willing to help continue Mesa's work. The response was overwhelming, as so many talented people volunteered the time and effort to help bring Duelyst back. Some from the old Project Cardboard team and some new. There was a rough transitional period where the team was getting to grips with the project architecture and codebase, but now things are going well and the project is still getting new applications to this day. The whole Revival project changed a lot over the course of the last year, and not just because they abandoned one already existing prototype to switch to mesas, but it also turned more professional. In the beginning they tried to gather everybody willing to help and to contribute to the idea of remaking Duelyst, which was important to keep up momentum. But it also led to a bunch of contrary visions and ideas into a somehow bloated developer team. The switch was also a way to reorganize and restructure the project to a leaner, more hierarchical and professional structure, away from the just a few friends screwing around setting they had before. During that process, some people got disappointed or hurt and left the project, but that was expected to happen with a fan project starting from zero and a ton of people with different characters and opinions coming together. But in the end, everybody involved, and we old Duelyst players from the outside, want the same: a playable version of Duelyst, and the Duelyst Revival Project is looking like it's achieving exactly that. Let's talk about that Duelyst Revival Project. It's also called Duelyst 2 by some, so do not get confused if you see one or the other. The name is not set in stone yet. I think CPG will be part of the decision. There are some questions I see often, so here are the answers for them. Is this legal? Will CPG Bandai shut the project down? Yes, it is legal. CPG are aware and supportive of the project. Bandai Namco are not involved with Duelyst post shutdown. They were the publisher and only publisher for the PC version. After shutting down the servers, the contract ended and all rights are back to CPG. Will the game be free? Will everything be free? The game will be free to play and monetized. The monetization plan is not yet finalized, but for now it's safe to assume that it will resemble that of the original Duelyst. When can you play? Very difficult question. The team consists of volunteers, and most of them have full-time jobs outside of the project. 2021 is a good guess though. What platforms are planned for release? It is planned to launch a game on at least PC, Linux and Android. macOS and iOS are also planned but not confirmed. Console releases are very unlikely. How are they remaking Duelyst exactly? Is this a sequel? The initial release will closely resemble patch 0.60 of Duelyst. After this, however, the expansion will deviate heavily from those that Duelyst released. Some designs and mechanics from Chimps onwards will remain, most will not. The game will remain Draw 2. Additionally, the version of patch 0.60 is planned to be preserved as a legacy mode to play in custom games and tournaments once the game receives its first expansion. As you already could see from the gameplay, they are going to rebuild 2-draw. There was a huge discussion about that in the beginning. When CPG switched from 2-draw to 1-draw at the end of the beta, it was a very controversial decision, and the same was true now. In the end, the team decided to go for 2-draw, and that's what we are getting. Right now they are in a pre-alpha build. You can already play against each other, but the game still misses a ton of effects, so it's hard to read what happened, especially with spells. But they're working on that, and an alpha is planned for the first quarter of 2021. I will keep an eye on the project for sure, and will make another video when there's more big news to announce. I'm looking forward to exploring a new Duelyst. In the description you will find links to all the different projects I mentioned, if you're interested in it. If you want to watch some more Duelyst videos, I upload one every day. At the time of this recording, we are watching Hizuku's last day of Duelyst stream. Very entertaining, good stuff, check it out. Also, if you liked the video, please leave a like and a sub to my channel, I really appreciate it. Till the next time, and thanks for watching.